And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. It is Christmas Eve. Aren't y'all excited? I am. This time of year is very special for all of us and has, well, a lot of meanings. Time for family to get together and most of all, to celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. I do hope you'll get to do that somewhere, some way today. It is a wonderful thing. May your heart be filled with good cheer as we head into this evening. Maybe the bad folks will calm down, at least for a day. Let's keep our fingers crossed. How about y'all? How are you? We hope you got a smile. You're up. I do know one thing. You're cold. It's 31. We're a few degrees warmer than it has been the last few mornings, but still below freezing at 31, and there is a thick frost. Do you have to do some scraping, Odie, coming in off the windshield?
No, let it warm up a minute.
Oh, you got a push button start on yours, don't you?
No, I got to go out.
Oh, you got to go out?
Yeah.
Okay. I have yet to. Even the new one that I'm getting doesn't have the... Man. I hear it's a nice feature.
$120.
When we first got married, Angie would go out and do that for me. That rubbed off about 3 months later.
It didn't take long.
And I'm sure that everybody has seen that, and it was funny. I have to give you credit of that little thing that was floating around Facebook of the guy that drives up in the new minivan and he hits the button and the trunk opens up, the SUV opens up by itself, and the guy in the wore out minivan looks at him and he taps the back of the van and his wife gets out and opens it. It was funny. We'll be right back and let's get some good words. Let's go to Collinsville, the First Baptist now.
Well, Merry Christmas Eve. Today we continue the season of Advent to prepare our hearts for Christmas. We're thinking on the manger's missional mandate. Every Christmas, the manger is a reminder of the mission of God, which will not be finished until Christ comes again. Today, we light the candle of love. And we take our scripture from a text that's very familiar to us, but not usually affiliated in our minds with Christmas. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that He gave His only Son, that whoever believes in Him should not perish but have eternal life. You see, God the Father sent Jesus, the Son of God, to earth to live and die for the world. But why in the world would He do such a thing? Why would God go to such extreme measures in sacrificing His only begotten Son? Well, the answer is love. Plain and simple, love. God the Father loved the world so much He was willing to risk everything so that the world might be saved. Love compelled God to give us Jesus, to escape the penalty that death has for us. What amazing love God has shown us. Now, the manger, along with the cross and the empty tomb, is a yearly reminder of God's great love for us. But we got to realize that God's love for us is a call to action. If God so loved us, we ought to love one another. And that compels us to go tell people about the good news of Jesus Christ. If you want to share love this Christmas, give gifts and all sorts of other acts of kindness, but above all, share the gospel. The manger mandates this mission. Merry Christmas. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. It is Tuesday, Christmas Eve, bright and early. Nippy 31 as we bring that temperature. We've got your complete forecast coming up in just a moment. We'll get to that. As we begin our day, we had to have a Swiss air flight diverted. 10 crew members and 10 passengers have been sent to the hospital. Cabin filled up with smoke. Can you imagine being on that plane flight? Ooh. Oh, and speaking of, Angie Ray is going to the big skies. My wife has never been on an airplane in her life, and she will take her first flight, I think, Friday. She's going to go back with our son, Dylan Ray, to Washington, D.C. to spend a few days with him there, and her first flight. She's a little bit nervous about it. Seriously, there's nothing to worry on that. It's those things are good. If you've never flown, it's actually fun till you hit turbulence.
You're going to watch Airplane Thursday?
Yeah, we'll watch Airplane that night. If you haven't seen this, we brought it up lightly yesterday that Denzel Washington had been saved. He's also been baptized, the whole thing. He's going to become a pastor as well. I think it's a good thing. We wish him luck with that. Sometimes you have questions and you don't have them here to ask them, but good luck to him. We did lose an officer yesterday in the United States, a supermarket, North Carolina, where it was happened. An officer responded to a suspicious suspect inside a store that may have a weapon. They did. He lost his life right here at Christmas. We send condolences to that family. Awful, awful that could happen. North Carolina is where that happened. It was back in March that they had a little over, is it $1 billion winner? It was. Yeah. An anonymous person in New Jersey has claimed it. Wow. The 5th largest jackpot in history is what it was.
So we didn't win?
I don't think. I was actually thinking this was one from earlier in the year.
Yeah, we hadn't quite got to 1.13.
Yeah, this is from March. Yeah, who won the lottery in March of this year? Now wait a minute. If you won $1.13 billion, would you wait till December and won it in March to claim it?
I don't think you had but like 6 months to get it.
Wow. I don't think I'm not Cool Hand Luke. I'd be dancing in the streets or something that gave it away. Maybe it would be that new Cadillac 1970 model drop top that would give it away, that Scotty Ray's done something. New 4-wheel drive in the yard. Something would give it away. That's a lot of money. And we wish them luck, and we do hope that they do something good with it. Money's not evil. It's how you do and what you do with it, if that makes sense to everybody. We have 5 skiers hospitalized after a chairlift malfunction in Lake Tahoe. Has anybody ever been up in one of those? I know they have them in Gatlinburg, where you ride them up to the top of the mountain. Is it something over Gatlinburg? Swinging chair over Gatlinburg or something like that? I don't ride them, but I can't imagine being trapped in something like that. Mercy on them. We have an explosion that happened in Florida. It was a boat caught fire. We have 1 person that is deceased and 5 people that are hospitalized after that happened there. That's awful. It was docked and caught fire. We do hate that. Whooping. I've heard this all my life, but I'm not quite sure I know what it is. Whooping cough. Is that a cough in your chest that won't go away? Is that what that is? Yeah. They say it's reaching one of the highest levels that it has in years across the United States, the whooping cough. I certainly hope you hadn't got it, because there is no cough medicine that tastes good. Can't somebody invent something that tastes okay that you can drink? Oh, it's the syrup and coffee and the mixture that tastes okay, from what I'm getting from the other side of the room. Make your own at home. I've always heard that works. Seriously, a touch of whiskey, some peppermint, and then melt it all together. I've heard all my life. I've never had any, but I've always heard that it's good. Soothes your throat, helps you.
It helps you sleep.
Helps you sleep a little bit better. Well, I certainly hope none of y'all get that, because that's a bad one there. Let's see what else we've got going on here. You know, I go back to this Matt Gaetz thing. They have released a report on this. If this report were all true, wouldn't he have been indicted? Wouldn't they have made a formal arrest? I've stood by that. Usually if someone is against you and it can be proven without a shadow of a doubt, they would get you. After he came out, won re-election, and was going for Attorney General, he resigned due to the complaints of that. And the Ethics Committee did release this. And if you read it's pretty rough. I just don't know how much of it is true. But if you read what's in there, and you can, it's online. $90,000 spent. Rough. We had 174 people rescued after being stuck on a Colorado ski lift. This is different than the other. 174 at another ski lift. What's this telling us, Odie? Don't get on a ski lift.
Wait till they got that one fixed for you.
It's like going to the Ferris wheel. I would be that one on top. That's why I don't ride them, because I'd be the one on top when it needed some grease or something and be stuck there and have to, I just don't think I could handle that.
At least Zane is here. It won't take that long to fix it.
Zane could fix it, couldn't he? Arnold says castor oil works better for a sore throat. Doesn't that have other effects on you?
It has, yeah. It'll fix something else too.
You will like stay in a bathroom all day, won't
You
you?
won't care about your throat.
It'll make you worry about something else. I thought so. Y'all be careful. Don't let anybody be talking to you into drinking none of that. Whew. Thought so. They don't sell you cannot get Paragaric anymore, can you?
Who?
Paragaric. Like if you had, it would like stop anything. Say if you were sick, you took a swallow of that, and it was over. Whatever it was, it was the worst tasted medicine as a child I ever had. But boy, let me tell you, it cut off whatever was happening instantly. There's some folks out there that know what Paragaric is. You could open the bottle of it and you'd go, whew.
Like the Curacom work, you can't buy it neither.
Getting back, Tammy says you cannot get it anymore. That I think they ruled that something about it was bad for your intestines.
Yeah, it worked.
It really worked. They don't want that. And y'all know I'm right. Why have something on a shelf that'll stop it? Give you something that, milks it where you have to go back and get more. Okay, I'm going off into no man's land there. But former D.C. police intel chief has been found guilty for tipping off the Proud Boys back on a year ago, coming up on January 6th. It's been talked about, but he has been found guilty. TSA, can you imagine being that guy that has to scan everybody that comes through? They found 82 objects on a lady that you might could buy down at Greg's.
Wow.
Some pocket knives and a lot of other things. She was detained. I don't know what you'd be needing that for on a flight, but they ain't allowing it. You don't do that. They have charged the guy. Now, this is one of the most senseless crimes that I've ever seen in America. A New York subway. And let's be honest, we've learned over the last, since Rudy Giuliani left, like him or not, New York was safe for the most part while he was mayor. They stopped crime. If you looked like you were going to commit a crime, you were stopped by the police and asked questions. They passed a bunch of laws in New York City after he left office and crime went rampant. You can't ride a subway without being mugged.
And this guy was illegal.
Yeah. On top of this guy was an illegal immigrant in the United States. He set this young lady on fire, and she lost her life. He was deported in 2018 and came back to the U.S. Tells you who was president and who let him back in. Like it or not, you have to have walls sometimes. You have to have gates to keep people that want to harm you out. That's why we have a U.S. military. That's why we have law enforcement. Because, there's some that don't need to be among us. You have to draw a line and keep it. Trump has already let them know, and they're almost having fits, to where in the past they've been able to run inside a church and go, nanny, nanny, boo-boo, you can't come get me. He says, not anymore. When I take office, if you're illegal, we're coming in. Whether it's a church, a hospital, or wherever it may be. They've had like safe zones across the United States. Not happening beginning January 20th. A lot of them are upset that lean that way and want that to happen. Again, if you disagree with me, go back and read the story of that young lady in New York City. There's countless other stories. Watch this, and I know in a lot of states, this has been proven to be illegal, getting a ticket. When you go through a red light and a camera takes your tag number and you've been going too fast. Most judges have thrown that out. But beware, as you travel this Christmas Eve, and the eyes across America will be on you through cameras. It is. They watch for seat belts and things of that nature, no tags, and they call it ahead, and you get stopped. It used to be the eye in the sky, the helicopter. Y'all remember that when they do radar? Not anymore. Things have changed. Technology has gotten a little bit better, but beware of that. They need to leave this alone. A headline, a prosecutor has finally backed off in his attempt to bring charges again against Alec Baldwin. It's over. It's done. Let the man go on. He may not be the nicest person. He may be a Grinch in real life, but let's move on. He's been tried and brought up, and it's just been bad. It's time for us to move on. We certainly hate that this young lady's life was lost in that horrible accident on that, but they keep bringing this back up, and each judge, before it goes to them, ends up in the end letting them go. No charges being major charges, if you know what I'm talking about. It was an accident. It's horrible. We certainly hate that it happened. It is time for us to move forward on that. Teamsters. Now, I'm not a big political guy of when it comes on the national scene. When it comes to that end, I'm not as big on it as I should know. I know that there are a lot of what's the guy that Hoffa that was never found? Jimmy Hoffa. As we know that there's a lot of Teamsters. There's many different organizations that have many members, that when they join, they can influence and help presidential elections. The boss of the Teamsters sat down and did an interview with Tucker Carlson. And I don't know how many members actually the Teamsters have, but it's a good bit. And he said that when Kamala and Joe visited, and then Kamala came back, she said, "I'm winning with or without you. You need to get on board." And I mean, you need to get on board. So they chose not to get on board. She lost. She threatened. He says that is one of the main reasons they didn't back anybody. That threatening. You can't do that. What's that old saying about never count your chickens before they hatch?
Yep. You
can't. You really, none of us can. And we've all probably made a mistake of counting a chicken or two in our lives before we should have. I think we're all guilty of that. But the Teamsters didn't back her because of that. We'll be right back as we begin our morning. Stay with us.
This is going to be our biggest year-end clearance event ever here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia. Inventory is up and rates are finally down. We promise to save you thousands on any of our new inventory. From Siennas to Sequoias, Camrys to Corollas, Tundras, Tacomas, no matter the model, we will not be undersold. We want your business. With interest rates as low as 1.99%, top dollar value for your trade-in, and thousands off all of our inventory, Doc's Toyota is your clear choice for your next Toyota purchase. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia at docstoyota.com or on Facebook. And remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
The most wonderful time of the year is just around the corner, and Al's Garden and Gift is ready for a magical Christmas season. From sparkling Christopher Radko ornaments to custom wreaths by Wanda, we've got your holiday decor covered. Looking for the perfect gift? Try our custom baskets packed with treats like Mississippi cheese straws and old-fashioned peppermint sticks. And be sure to add vibrant colors to your outdoors with pansies and snapdragons. Charm and beauty await your home this wonderful season. Merry Christmas from Al's Garden and Gift.
Welcome back. A lot of elves are busy this morning as they're preparing down in Marion for the big toy giveaway this morning for the kids. I'm sure there's a line already. It gets underway at 8 a.m. Again, it's a great thing, and we want to say a big thank you to Chief Randall Davis, who works hard every year above and beyond to make this happen. A lot of people are going to help him this morning. I went by yesterday afternoon. We'll show some pictures of the folks who were helping put that together. I even saw that girl floating around back there putting toys together. Big thank you to her. We appreciate that so much. Let's get into our forecast.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
And where we go as we look back at our record highs and record lows. 1964, it was 68 today. Our record low. I'm telling you, 1989 must have been a bad year. It was 6 degrees. I was looking to see what someone was wearing. It was 6 degrees in 1989. We have studio guests arriving. I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. As we look at what else happened today, this is what our forecast is calling for. 63 is what we've got. Wow, it's going to be nice. Christmas Eve, 63. As we look to Alabama, we should see 61, 61, all the way up through Tuscaloosa. Birmingham, a tad cooler at 59. Auburn at 60. As we look across this is what we've got. This is that warming trend during the daytime hours of what we've got. Warm, isn't it? Here we go. As we look at today, 63 down to 38 tonight for Santa Claus as he travels. Tomorrow's high is 62 on Christmas Day with a 30% chance of showers. We should see a 10% chance of rain on Thursday as we make it to Friday, 67. Over the weekend, not bad at all. We are going to have some rain on Saturday, 70 for a high, 60% chance of showers. As we move into Sunday and Monday, well, 20%, 10% chance of rain. Here's what we got through January the 7th. As we look at the new year, it's going to be 60 on New Year's Day with a low of 39. Not bad, is it? Just a smidgen chance of a rain there. And we're going to hold steady with 50s and 60s there through January 7th. January 8th is a national holiday, if I'm not mistaken. A little guy named Elvis Presley was born in the great state of Mississippi. Y'all don't forget that. As we come across to find out what our fishing times are, perfect time is beginning now, 6:43 until around 9 o'clock this morning is great fishing. Another major time comes after dark. You can go around lunchtime. It'll be minor fishing 12 to 2. But your best time is this morning from 7 until 9 if you're man enough to stand on that and feel that wind off that water. I'm not. I'm just going ahead and admitting it. I couldn't handle it. I can handle a shoot house with a heater in a corner. I could handle this one now. Our best times to hunt today, brought to you by Wimberley Taxidermy, is going on now through about 8 a.m. as your peak time today. Your next time will be after dark, your best. Now, we got some minor times right around lunchtime from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock as your next hour there of best hunting. Day rating is an average day. Sunrise hit at 6:53, which is 60 seconds from now. And sunset will hit around 4:55 as we start seeing almost a minute a day starting to climb now. Wind's going to be calm, becoming southeast around 5 miles an hour, whether you're fishing or hunting this morning. That's not bad as we look at that. Let's go back and take a look at radar this morning, find out what's happening with the big radar, what's on there. I think we're pretty clear as we pull it up. Where did it go? Here we go. It's wanting to thunk over here. There it goes. Here's radar. We do have showers out in Denton, Texas, just northwest of Dallas. We've got a bunch of showers in Arkansas, north of Conway. Fort Smith has showers. Springfield, Missouri, those areas there. We even have some fog out in Knoxville, Tennessee. Yeah, all those areas there. Orlando, down in Sarasota, Fort Myers. We've got some. Y'all be careful out there. It looks like it's going to be a great day for Santa, other than a few showers here and there northward. Be careful, be careful, be careful. We're going to be right back in just a moment. We're waiting on all the crew. I think Greg is on the way. We've got that girl already in the studio. She's ready. She's hunting coffee, trying to improve her attitude. We hope it works. Really, if you're in a bad mood right now, try a cup of coffee. It'll really improve you. Wakes you up, makes you happy. We'll be right back as we begin this Christmas Eve show in just a moment.